special place, unparalleled views, monster sunsets, and of course the thoroughbred racing action gets no better than right here at beautiful Belmont Park. Jason Blewett, Richard Migliori alongside. It's the Friday edition of Belmont Insider. 9 races, my friend, and that October chill is in the air.
It is, and the days are getting shorter. It's starting to feel like true autumn here in New York, but no better place for autumn in New York than Belmont Park.
No, and with that fall racing season in full swing, we inch closer and closer to the Breeders' Cup out at Santa Anita, and that brings us to today's headlines. Obviously, we'll have the highlights and what transpired on a card with the double carryover a bit later in the show, but Palace is where we're beginning. A multiple Grade 1 winning New York bred, a half over the training track in 48-2.
Yeah, and a horse with his foundation. He's been running steadily. You know, he doesn't need to do anything fancy. 48-2 just tells you he's in good form, and they just need to keep him where he's at because he's shown up and run well every time.
A former $20,000 claiming horse. He's now with Linda Rice, and, I mean, he gives you reason to dream in this business, right?
Well, absolutely, and a New York bred, and I think, you know, we've said it before on this show. It's been the year of the New York breds with just how many top-class performances, Grade 1 winning and placing performances.
Including Zevo for Chad Brown, second in the Jockey Gold Cup, your suburban winner, and he stretched his legs this morning, went a half over the main track in company with the older mare, Endless Chatter, at 49 flat.
And Zevo gives you the feeling of a horse that can just find the right trip. Maybe they go too fast in the Breeders' Cup Classic, 1.25 miles. Maybe, you know, some guys get a little excited, they move too soon, and if Jose Lascano just sits chilly, which is what he usually does, he'll come running late, and you always want to be passing horses at the end of a race like that. That's how you get lucky and get a check, or maybe even the big check.
Got the 5/8 and 101 and 4, did the half and 49 in that breeze, and he's a good one with Jose Lascano. Now, Chad Brown also saw some action regarding his top-class filly, one of them anyway, one of his turf horses, and Stephanie's Kitten, the Flower Bowl winner who breezed a half and 48 on the turf, and it seems like she's coming into the Breeders' Cup, Mig, in tip-top form.
But she really found her form, and she strung together 3 straight performances where very possibly she could have won all 3, but she came away the last time with a victory under Johnny Velasquez, and you'd have to think the form she's in, she's going to be pretty formidable. We'll see what kind of Euros show up, but of the Americans, you got to think she's going to be tough in the Breeders' Cup.
No surprise, Chad has got the numbers, and he's got a very big contingent of potential Breeders' Cup starters. Is it an edge to keep his horses right here at Belmont? Because the plans call for that whole outfit to ship on October 27th.
You know, there are 2 schools of thought about that. You know, stay where you're at, come in late. This way horses don't have to kind of acclimate to the surroundings. They just get there and run. And then there are other people who are going to get out there early, allow their horses to kind of get used to the weather conditions. It's going to be quite a bit warmer out there. So I think it works both ways. I really think it depends on individual horses.
Well, $10 million plus in earnings on the season for trainer Chad Brown. He's winning with all types of horses, and in fact, his McElroy was the star attraction in today's 6th race, a $40,000 claimer. Some hard-hitting turf horses, some good recent form. McElroy is a stick, and we send it up to John Abrial from the gate for the call.
The byline shows first. Now Canturk Kid moves up to challenge. Read the byline by ahead. Canturk Kid runs in second. Treasury Devil is in between horses. McElroy's on the outside. Tigger is down at the rail. Then it's 2 lengths to Golden It Is, who runs along in 6th. Admiral Perry is 7th. Sharp Omar in 8th. For the Love of Lil trails the field in 9th. Long Shot Read the byline ran the opening quarter in 23 and 1/5 seconds. Canturk Kid coming up the inside now to challenge. Read the byline narrowly. Canturk Kid in second by a length, with Treasury Devil tracking just behind in third. The favorite McElroy in the clear on the outside in 4th. Then it's Tigger running in 5th, a length to Golden It Is in 6th, followed by Admiral Perry. Farther back, Sharp Omar and For the Love of Lil. The half was run in 46 and 3/5 seconds. Still Read the byline, holding on to the lead over Treasury Devil. McElroy on the outside is right there in third, with Tigger towards the inside in 4th, just behind the front runners. Then comes Golden It Is, For the Love of Lil, making a sweeping move on the far outside. And Admiral Perry, 3/4 in 1:10 and 2. And they're in the stretch. Treasury Devil and McElroy. It's those 2 heads apart. Tigger now moves to the outside. Admiral Perry is coming on. They're at the 16th pole. It's McElroy and Treasury Devil. McElroy, Treasury Devil. It's going to be those 2 to the wire. It's a head bob. Treasury Devil and McElroy noses apart on the line.
Heck of a battle and a complete nail-biter to the wire between Treasury Devil and McElroy.
Well, it doesn't get any closer than that because it was a tie. They dead heated as good a horse race as you're going to see. And you see Johnny Velasquez, the pride of Puerto Rico, battling it out with Jose Ortiz, a young, new pride of Puerto Rico, and somebody that I know has looked up to Johnny Velasquez his entire career. It's got to be quite a thrill, even to have that win photo now at home, dead heating with Johnny.
Very cool. And it looked like McElroy might just forge ahead. He was in front very late in the stretch, but Treasury Devil, who had those big, cup blinkers on, finally got a glimpse right at the wire and surged. They tied, and a big winner's circle celebration. Jimmy Riccio, the winning owner of McElroy, Michael Dubb and his whole crew, the winning owners of Treasury Devil.
I love that picture. That's great. Both horses getting their due, both connections happy, and it just doesn't get any better than that. And you notice if you go back and watch the replay, Johnny Velasquez ever so subtly turns Treasury Devil's head out. He doesn't come out to bump him. He doesn't overdo it, just enough to make his horse engage, and probably what caused the dead heat.
The elder statesman in the jockey room here at Belmont Park, and a man that brings his A game every single day. What a competitor. And in fact, Johnny V was in action, as was Jose Ortiz, a bit later in the card, as we get you back here on Belmont Insider to Friday's 8th.
And they're off. Slow start for number 3 with Exultation. He spotted the field 6 or 7 lengths. Douse's Beach and Acid Inflation. Those two go out for the early lead. Acid Inflation pokes ahead in front. Douse's Beach runs in second. Is in Love Just Grand is next in third. Testosterone down on the inside runs in fourth. And it's Mr. Rosenthal in fifth, followed by Balderdash in sixth. Pretensions on the outside in seventh. Mr. Masterpiece is eighth. Then it's Strong Impact in ninth. Strong Impact's about 9 or 10 from the front. Lord of Love is 10th, and a break of 6 lengths to With Exultation, who trails the field in 11th. The quarter win in 23 and 2/5 seconds. Acid Inflation on the lead here by 3/4 of a length. Douse's Beach is on the outside in second. And then it's Mr. Rosenthal, Is in Love Just Grand, and Testosterone. Those three are all together. Then it's Balderdash and Pretension, and Strong Impact is down towards the inside. The half went in 46 and 3. It is Acid Inflation, who now kicks clear to lead by 3 lengths. Douse's Beach couldn't keep up. Isn't Love Just Grand, Strong Impact, and Mr. Rosenthal all chasing Acid Inflation, who has the lead as they come down for the wire. Acid Inflation, much the best. Strong Impact came on to get second. Then Douse's Beach and Isn't Love Just Grand.
From a dead heat to a daylight winner, Acid Inflation all by himself.
And we talked about this horse last night. We were talking about the 7 furlongs, the added furlong. But when he got to go the fractions, he did 23 and change, 46 and change. School was out. This horse is in great form, and Javier Castellano did a great job rating him along, and he finished full of run.
Second consecutive win on today's card for Belmont's leading rider in Javier Castellano. Let's give Mike Maker some credit. I mean, this horse, when he returned earlier in the year, was taking a big drop off a layoff for Chad Brown. Mike Maker bit, and since then he's been perfect off the claim.
And it takes a lot of nerve to reach in and take a horse off that long a layoff. Obviously something went wrong last year, but to have the confidence or see something that leads you to say, you know what, I'm going to put up the money and I think we're going to do all right. Well, they've done more than all right.
10 races, a triple carryover into Saturday's card. The preview, a look back at Friday, and the views, of course, on MSG Plus. A quick breather on the show. Mig and I are back in a few seconds.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
12 furlongs, a mile and a half from start to finish. North America's biggest dirt race course, and the proof is in that picture here at Belmont Park. And Belmont, well, plenty of live racing to be had here over the next few days. Columbus Day, a tradition here at the Big B. Monday, October 13th, a 10-race card, 1250 first post. Stakes galore over the next 3 days, and an unbeaten 3-year-old returning here on Sunday, Mig.
Yeah, Constitution, who was one of the early Spring Classic favorites, I should say, for the Kentucky Derby, and unfortunately he was injured. But I think we're going to see a bigger, stronger Constitution coming back on Sunday.
We hope that's the case for trainer Todd Pletcher. Sunday's 8th with Javier Castellano. As we go back, race number 9. This was the end. The pick 6, the big double carryover came to a close with a group of New York-bred 2-year-old filly maidens. 3 horses, the 1, 11, and 12 were covered. If anybody else won, we'd have a triple carryover. Now let's check it out.
And they're off. And a good start from the inside for Congress Park. Cosmic Tail now moves up. The two of them are right together in the early going with 10 Penny Princess light years away, and Loon River now gaining ground. Cosmic Tail has the lead. Loon River moves into second. Congress Park, 10 Penny Princess heads apart third and fourth. On the outside is light years away in fifth. 2.5 lengths to Courage is a Majority, who's running in sixth. Another 3 to Janny Love in seventh. Then 4 more, back to 4-Star Crook, who's on the outside of Palm Beach Shirley. The 2 trailers are Truly Possible and Redbeard. The quarter in 25 seconds. Cosmic Tail has the lead over Loon River. Cosmic Tail by almost 2. Loon River in second. Congress Park, the favorite, down on the inside in third. Light years away, races in fourth. 10 Penny Princess is in between horses. Courage is a Majority has made her way down to the inside. Then comes Janny Love, a break of 2 to a 4-Star Crook. Then it's Palm Beach Shirley and Truly Possible, and the trailer is Redbeard. Half mile in 50 3/5 seconds. Cosmic Tail and Loon River. On the outside, it's light years away. Congress Park is down towards the rail and racing in fourth. The field now heads for home. It's Cosmic Tail and Loon River. Cosmic Tail narrowly. Loon River now right alongside. Loon River and Cosmic Tail. They've got 3 lengths on Congress Park, who's all out in third. Loon River now takes the lead. And Loon River, she's not going to win by a mile, but she's going to win. Loon River by almost 3. Then Cosmic Tail and Congress Park.
Loon River tracked the pace outside, and an upset here, Mr. Miggs, at 16:20.
Now, Jose Lezcano gets the money for Gary Siaka, and this horse really looked good, powered away. Third start on the turf was the charm. The runner-up ran well, the 3, Cosmic Tail. Second time on the turf, Mike Luzzy aboard for Charlton Baker. Mike not getting a lot of opportunities, but making the most of them. 1960 to place.
What does he bring to the table? And certainly got second at a big price and even made your exact and try here if you were smart enough to cash.
Well, Mike's a complete package to me. You know he's not going to get ruffled in a situation. He's not going to get nervous. He's strong. He's smart. He's seen it all. He just needs horse flesh underneath him, and I don't. At times, I really don't understand why he doesn't get more support.
And Jose Lezcano, a little love earlier in the show. He is the regular rider of Zevo. He will be aboard Zevo in the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic, and a guy that's carved out a nice niche for himself here on the circuit.
And he's been riding terrific, and he seems to really excel not only on turf but in big races. So another guy looking to have a big Breeders' Cup day, and I think Jose is, again, just as good as anybody if he gets the right opportunity.
138,000 plus the carryover, a triple carryover into Saturday's card, a 10-race program, 1250 post. We keep our fingers crossed with the weather. There's some excellent turf races midway through the latter portion of the program tomorrow, so the weatherman needs to cooperate as we have the world's fastest pick 6 coming up. A number of highlights as we go back to Johnny I.
Apex trying to go wire to wire here, and Apex has built a 4-length lead. MJ Plus has now moved into second. Then it's Moman. Box Office is back running in fourth. Apex with the lead. MJ Plus running in second. It's still Apex by 2. MJ Plus in second. They come for the wire. Apex does it. 3/4 of a length over MJ Plus. Farther back, Go Olivia Go is moving up on the outside. Here comes Go Olivia Go, who goes on with it to take over the lead inside the 8th pole. Go Olivia Go in front. Discreet Force battles on in second. Then it's Midnight and Positano and Wild K. Go Olivia Go, a 4-length winner. Discreet Force was second, and Midnight and Positano held third. Coincidence in front, recanted on the outside, now moving into second. Then it's Alkalite and Grandpa Len. Good news is no news is far back. They're inside the 8th pole. It's Cosmic Coincidence and Recanted. Cosmic Coincidence trying to hold off Recanted in the final 100 yards. Cosmic Coincidence, Recanted. Cosmic Coincidence by a head. Recanted was second. And then Alkalite and Arctic Ocean challenges Kibble for the lead. Hale Cornell is now moved to the outside, and Hale Cornell is coming on. Hale Cornell in front. Arctic Ocean and Kibble. It's Hale Cornell. Arctic Ocean fights on, but Hale Cornell will prevail. 3/4 of a length. Arctic Ocean was second, then Kibble, and ready to head for home. Guyana holding on to the lead down at the rail. Matching Skies on the outside, and My Tea Time is under the whip. What the Frost runs in fourth, past the 8th pole, and Guyana draws clear. And it's going to be Guyana in a front-running victory here. She drew off at the end. Guyana, a 6-length winner. It was close for second between Matching Skies and My Tea Time. What the for the stretch. Manhattan Gin challenged by Sky Saratoga. Sky Saratoga takes over now from Manhattan Gin. Barrier to entries on the extreme outside. Kimmy's Lucky Star rallies down towards the rail, but Sky Saratoga has built a big lead here. Official is on the move into second, but she's not going to catch Sky Saratoga. Sky Saratoga, then Official, and Kimmy's Lucky Star.
Good-looking effort, turf debut, Sky Saratoga. I mean, she turned race 7 from, oh, this might be a little closer, a blanket finish, into I'm all by myself.
Yeah, she really took to the turf. You could see early on the way she was getting over the ground that she was enjoying it, and the way she powered away, she could have a future on the grass.
Well, speaking of futures down the road, Israel Rodriguez, 7-pound apprentice, a good job and a strong seat keeping Cosmic Coincidence together a deep stretch for the third.
I really like what I saw here. I love the way he nursed his horse along early. No panic in him. When they turned for home, he was still saving horse, and when he set him down, he really looked good finishing. Better than most 7-pound apprentices look finishing. It looks like a kid that has a future and should have a good winter at Aqueduct.
Well, what's it like going over to Queens and riding at the Big 8 for 6 months with a bug?
Well, usually you get good play. A lot of the bigger name riders go to Florida for the winter. They're looking for apprentices over there because they figure they're hungry. They're not going to worry too much about the cold and the snow and the different racetracks. But this kid looks like he's well schooled. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Horses relax well for him, and he's a strong finisher. That's a pretty strong combination.
18 years old, native of Puerto Rico, as we check out the rider standings with 26 cards completed on this Friday, October 10th. Keeneland, Santa Anita simulcast still going on. I am sure they are mobbing it up in the Belmont Cafe with long lines, getting those wagers in, but Mr. Castellano, our leading jock.
Yeah, leading rider by 7, Joe Rosario, who's been down in Kentucky now. Irad Ortiz and Jose Ortiz tied for 3rd, and Cornelia Velasco is not far behind.
Trainer standings again with another Friday down. Chad Brown walked away with that dead heat win with McElroy, and he's got 20. David Jacobson had a winner as well.
Yeah, the usual suspects atop the trainer standings, but Chad could put a Belmont fall meet in his resume.
And regarding the owner standings, it's been David Jacobson and his main client pretty much 1st and 2nd throughout. Drawing Away Stable has had 7 for a while. Michael Dubb up on that list with the dead heat of victory today. He's got 7, and David Jacobson in the mix with 6. As we take a look at a whole lot of claims, man. They were dropping slips from race number 2 all through this Friday card.
Starting out with a 7-way shake for Go Olivia Go. Joe Imperio getting one, and just a lot of action at the claim box. Guys, I guess, kind of loading up for Aqueduct.
Yes, absolutely. The crew out of the 5th, and there were 5, in fact, out of race 5. Just solid mares that are consistent, that can run every 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks to a month, show up and usually get the job done. A 5-way shake, in fact, on What the Frost, who was taking a drop, and our good old buddy Read the Byline. In fact, 2 old pros, Read the Byline and Strong Impact, were both claimed by the same trainer.
Yeah, and Michelle Nevin had a big weekend winning stakes, but she's not done with the claimers yet by a long shot.
And we're going cross-country, in fact, as we take a little time out. We've got our cross-country double. What happened? A good crew of Filly Mare maidens at Friday's 4th at Santa Anita. Stay with us on Insider.
Now's the time to sign up for a Naira Rewards account with our new Bet 100, Get 100 bonus. We want to deposit $100 into the accounts of new signups during the Belmont Fall Championship meet. Just enroll, bet $100, and you'll receive $100 in your account the next day. It's that easy. Plus, new signups can access the brand new Naira HD app and watch live streaming races on their smartphones. Sign up today on track or at NairaRewards.com.
What do you get when you combine two of the country's greatest racing institutions? Well, you get the cross-country daily double available in Belmont Park's 9th race, or finale, I should say, on every live racing day. And today it was a pair of 8s. Loon River in the 9th at Belmont Park, followed by Kirov, the 8 out at Santa Anita.
Under Elvis Trujillo, and the favorite down towards his inside. Fascinating, dueled gamely, but Kirov, even from that outside post, was able to get his nose down on the wire first.
Great filly by Distorted Humor, big pedigree, unbridled song mare, and Kirov breaks her maiden for Elvis Trujillo, and the double, in fact, paid $127.60, so a nice little payout on day number 2 of the cross-country double. The Mig and Jason Blewett alongside. Glad you're with us as we check out the Knickerbocker. That is the anchor of this Saturday card with the big pick 6 carryover. And we've got the mighty Za Approval back for a potential title defense.
Yeah, Za Approval won it last year. He wants firm ground. We have to keep an eye on the weather. I don't know that he really wants a 1 1/8. He was able to do it on this day, but it sure feels like, especially this year, he was better when they turned him back to that 7 furlongs last time. Kind of intensified that closing kick, but maybe winning is going to get him back on track.
Perhaps. I also think he was in better form when he got the 9 last year. He was just better all over as he looks to follow up with Boisterous, who won the Knickerbocker back-to-back years in 2011 and 12. Christophe Clement's got the numbers, though, and speaking of which, I like this horse off the win at Monmouth.
You really got to like him, and it's this was the day after Christophe won the Belmont Stakes, so this kind of capped off a great weekend for him. This horse really ran through the wire, and you know the 1 1/8 and soft ground are well within his scope.
Well, what about getting back to Belmont for Up with the Birds, who won the Jamaica here last fall as a 3-year-old?
Yeah, I don't know that he's the same Up with the Birds we saw last year, although his Nijinsky was very good, and of course the Arlington Million, a lot tougher company than this, but we've seen Malcolm Pierce ship in and do well before, and he did win in October at Belmont. Well, it's October, and it's Belmont Park again.
The year keeps getting better and better, though, for trainer Christophe Clement. In fact, we watched that race, with speaking of which, right from this set, because he joined us the day after the Belmont Stakes, obviously winning that one with Tonalist, and was just winning stakes and has been winning stakes, it seems, left and right, and he'll look to keep the party going here throughout the weekend at Belmont Park. And you caught up with him, I think, earlier today.
Earlier today.
All right.
Christophe, you have Za Approval, last year's returning Knickerbocker winner in the Knickerbocker tomorrow, as well as, speaking of which, if the rain comes and the ground comes up a little soft, how does it affect your runners?
I don't think Za Approval will run if we get any rain. He's a firm turf specialist, and so we'll see what happens. Let's just hope we can be lucky and we don't get too much rain. And I think, speaking of which, we'll probably run no matter what. His last race was a very good performance where he won a grade 2. I actually watched the race with you, and but he impressed me that day. It took him a while to come out of it, just some small niggling problem. He was a little bit sore. We gave him the time. I think he's fit enough. I hope he's fit enough, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Now, you also have a horse in earlier in the day, if they stay on the grass, War Correspondent, who was extremely impressive his first start in the country. What do you think about him?
Nice horse. He won very impressively. I don't think he beat much that day, but he could have not have been more impressive. Not sure. I've got a small question mark on the ground. I don't know him well enough. He only had 1 start for us, but he looks and he's doing very well.
You also have a filly, Queen's Prize, that you trained for the Queen. She won on the all-weather there and then was well beaten on the turf. Would she run if it came off the grass?
I don't think so. I think we'll run her on the grass. I'm not sure we'll run her off the turf. But I hope they keep the race on the grass because she's been training very well. So it's exciting to see her run.
What's it like to train for the Queen?
It's like everybody else. You try to win.
Well, speaking of winning, Tonalist won the Belmont Stakes. The next day, speaking of which, won the Monmouth stake at Monmouth Park. How is Tonalist doing, and how is he training for the Classic?
Tonalist is coming from the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and he's come out of the race in very good shape. It's exciting. He's going to have his first breeze back probably on Sunday, and at the moment we're going to train him for the Breeders' Cup Classic, and as long as he's doing as well and training as well, let's go for it.
Do you think you'll have any other Breeders' Cup runners?
I might train a horse called Summerfond to the Breeders' Cup Mile. I've got to think about it. And I've got a filly called Irish Mission, who finished third last time in a race called the Rodeo Drive, a grade 1 mile and a quarter in California. I thought she was pretty unlucky, so we might train her for the fillies and mares on the turf.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
76 wins on the year. He's 10th in earnings, in fact, nationally. $7.6 million and counting. 2014, the year of Christophe Clement.
Well, he's done consistently well for a long time. I would venture to say this is his best year. But what I like about it is he's put to bed any kind of myth. Anybody wanted to pigeonhole him as just a turf trainer. He wins with any kind of horses, and he's a world-class horseman. And just for people that were watching, the videos, it was War Correspondent first, and it was Speaking of Which second. So just if anybody was paying close attention.
Same silk, so they both look good, pouring it on
yes,
down on the Jersey Turnpike, or the turf at Monmouth Park on the Jersey Shore, as we send it a few stories and many feet down to Maggie with who to look for tomorrow afternoon.
Thanks, guys. Well, for today's Paddock Insider, taking a look at the Saturday card and focusing in on the feature race. It is the Grade 3 Knickerbocker Handicap, going 1 1/8 on the turf for those older colts and geldings. And at 7-2 on the morning line is number 3, Za Approval, the almost white horse for Christophe Clement, who I think got his confidence back last time out, as he was a gate-to-wire winner, going the 7 furlongs. And to me in the paddock, he just looks so much more physically improved and just a happier horse than I'd ever seen him in the past. So I think riding that win, stretching back out in distance, which is fine, will make Za Approval pretty tough, as he looks to repeat as he was a 2013 winner of the Knickerbocker Handicap. I think he can pull it off. So he is today's Paddock Insider. Guys, back to you.
8 wins, 22 lifetime starts. The mighty Za Approval will try to win back-to-back Knickerbockers. In fact, Boisterous in 11 and 12 did it. And the last horse to actually do it before Boisterous, Charge d'Affaires, who was trained by Christophe Clement at the turn of the century. You got a Knickerbocker win, though, a little over 30 years ago with Euphrosyne.
Yeah, well before the turn of the century. But, yeah, Euphrosyne, really nice filly, beat the Colts that day. And I'm just looking at the forecast. It doesn't look like we're going to get the rain they originally calling for. So hopefully we get to see Za Approval, and hopefully we get to see you out here on a beautiful Saturday at Belmont.
Fire up the PPs. Couldn't have said it better myself. A triple carryover, 140K plus, and everybody's winning at Belmont Park. For the Mig and me, have a great Friday night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the first at 12:50.